"Don't tire yourself out," said Henry to himself. "You are going to be pulling the Flying Kipper this evening." "Hooray! That will be lovely," Henry shouted to himself. Later that night, Henry was getting ready to pull the Kipper. It was a long train full of fish that had been brought to the harbor by fishing boats. Henry was waiting for the last truck to be loaded, and then he could finally set off. "Be careful," warned Duck. "Tonight is supposed to be a very foggy night." "Shut up, Duck," said Henry. "I've done this a million times. I don't need to be careful." "All right," chuckled Duck. "Don't say I didn't warn you." Unfortunately, Henry did not pay any attention to Duck, and he pulled away. "He thinks I can't manage," Henry said to himself. "I'll show him." But it soon began to get very foggy. "It's just a little fog," said Henry to himself. "I think I'll be able to manage." But soon, he got lost and he didn't know where he was. He reached an old abandoned track that had not been used for years. And all of a sudden, he derailed and plunged into the ravine. The Flying Kipper laid everywhere. Poor Henry laid there until morning. A helicopter named Harold went to look for him, and he finally found him in the ravine covered in trucks. "Please help me." It took forever, but Henry was finally back on the rails. The trucks, however, needed to be scrapped. Oliver and Duck were taking Henry back to the island. "Hey, Henry," said Duck. "So, how was the fog?" Henry said nothing. He was sorry that he didn't listen to Duck. When the other engines heard about it, they laughed and laughed. "Henry actually fell into a ravine? How disgraceful." Now, whenever Henry takes the Kipper out, the engines tease him. They would say things like, "Henry, don't let the fog get to you, or else you may fall into a ravine." "Oh, the other engines never let me forget about the time I was pulling the Kipper and I fell into a ravine."